Good evening, everyone. Greetings from the Institute of Global Professional IGP Bangladesh. Greetings from the Institute of Global Professional IGP Bangladesh. Thank you all for joining us and staying with us till the end. Honorable Knowledge Seeker, today I am your host for the evening. My name is Yani Sakta Chaudhary. I am from Bangladesh. Dear Knowledge Seekers, I am proud to be associated with IGP as a global member. IGP and non-profit organization is a social and ISO certified international training institute. In 3 years, we already served 3 million knowledge seekers from 100 plus countries. IGP IGP is internationally recognized and globally accredited. We are connected to more than 250 plus profession and 4,500 plus organization. Instead of Global Professional IGP and ISO 9001 2015 and 10002 2018 is a training faculty for skill development, which was founded in 2020. Its generating component candidates to meet demand in the global labor market by providing professional qualifications. The Institute of Global Professional is an institutional institute that provides social and globally recognized and reputable. We serve student and community resource providing holistic social work and education. We believe that it is not effective to increase one's skill just by acquiring formal education, so we provide effective training and consultation to generate professional generation all over the world. We distribute our services locally, nationally, internationally to students, job seekers, job holders, and also for learners to respective campus location and distance learning platform. We are an occupation and dependable institution. IGP is one of the famous online institutes from all over the world. Our vision is education is not a business product, it's a part of our human rights based on our mission, and we are trying to reach all corners of the world for webinars, seminars, courses, awards, quiz competition, mentoring, consultants. We have to empower you all to learn to meet their expectations and dreams and become highly skilled people. We implement several trainings, programs, webinars, and offline online courses for you all and learners by professional trainer, speaker, and coaches. To ensure excellent and in-depth instruction, we arrange with qualified trainers, speakers, and instructors. We extend free services to more than 3 million knowledge seekers in the last 3 years. Spreading knowledge is crucial for the Institute of Global Professionals. We believe that knowledge is love, light, and vision. So we try to understand the needs of today's generation and we serve them with good research and practice methods. We must have a genuine concern for the learners. We represent more diversity, growth, and innovation are required to lead a session with professionalism, passion, and integrity. RGP members are committed to offering effective base quality service and continual improvement so that individuals who seek information can improve their skill level and level. Before we move to the next, let me remind you, don't forget to tag, share, and mention your face in the comment box. Your support is very valuable to us. Moving to the next with your continuous support, we already completed 1,271 webinars successfully. At present, now we are going to start our 1,272, and our program name is Peculiarities of Children Media. And today we have our speaker. Our speaker name is Ma'am MB Dr. Izioma Istar Nana Amdi. She's from Nigeria. Before I hand over the stage to our ma'am, I want to share a very little about our speaker. She is an educational concern, country advisor, Nigeria and the Global Educators Forum, India, winning digital media entrepreneur publisher. Now, very important moment for me to invite our speaker to IGP with her presentation. Now, very important moment for me to invite our speaker to IGP with her presentation. Hello, ma'am.
Hello,
How are you, ma'am?
I'm good. I'm fine.
Uh,
Thank you.
Ma'am, please, you have to raise your voice. I can't hear properly.
Okay.
Perfect off
Hear
করতে
me?
হচ্ছে।
Can you hear me now?
Yes, yes, I can now. I can hear. Uh, Ma'am, move to the next slide.
Okay. You can hear me now, right?
Yes, I can hear now.
Okay.
Ma'am, move to the next slide.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that wonderful introduction. It's quite unfortunate that we are having a lot of network hitches here and there, and it's really making me not to hear you. But thank God we are here today. And I appreciate the Institute of Global Professionals for having me here today. And I also appreciate our wonderful participants all over the world who are watching this program as we are looking at a very dynamic and important topic, the peculiarities of children media. I have a lot of insights to share with us today, and I hope all the participants will key in and learn from what we will be discussing today. The topic, like I said, is the peculiarities of children media by Dr. Ijoma Esther Namdi. The objective of today's teaching will be looking at the introduction to understand different kinds of media, to analyze the impact of media on various aspects of development, to identify positive and negative impacts of media on children, parental influence in children media. These are some of the topics we'll be looking at today. These are some of the topics we'll be looking at today. What are the different forms of media? Okay, let's look at the introduction. With knowledge, exposure, technology, and accessibility, we can devour positive and negative. Extreme caution in the choices we make for our children to develop skill, habits, moral and social values to grow up to be good humans. Classic influence versus modern influence. Understand the background to understand the impact. Positive and negative influence. Getting a perspective in how we can influence good media habits for appropriate child development. These are the topics we'll be looking at today. Different forms of media. We have the electronic media and the printed media. These are basically the two forms of media. And under the electronic media, we have the television, internet, radio, telecommunications. Then under the printed media, we have the newspapers, posters, pamphlets, information brochures, advertisement boards. These are the forms of printed media. Impact of media on various aspects of development. It is crucial to understand how media impacts a child development to be able to control the impact. We will look at various developmental aspects and how media affects each area of development. We will also look at the psychological changes a child goes through due to the impact of media. Media environment surrounding children has grown breathtakingly since 1992. Several hundred national and international cable, satellite channels, broadband internet, social networking sites have entered middle-class homes. Children under the age of 6 spend more time watching the television than do playing outdoors. Developmental terminology. These are the impact of media on various aspects of development. Cognitive development. This is the child's ability to learn and solve problems. For example, this includes a 2-month-old baby learning to explore the environment with hands or eyes, or a 5-year-old learning how to do simple math problems. Social and emotional development. This is the child's ability to interact with others, including helping themselves and self-control. Example of this type of development would include a 6-week-old baby smiling, a 10-month-old baby waving bye-bye, or a 5-year-old boy knowing how to take turns in games at school. These are different developmental stages. We also have the speech and language development. This is the child's ability to both understand and use language. For example, this includes a 12-month-old baby saying his first words, a 2-year-old naming parts of her body, or a 5-year-old learning to say feet instead of foot. We also have the fine motor skill development. This is the child's ability to use small muscles, specifically their hands and fingers, to pick up small objects, hold a spoon, turn pages in a book, or use a crayon to draw. We also have the gross motor skill development. This is the child's ability to use large muscles. For example, a 6-month-old baby learns how to sit up with some support. A 12-month-old baby learns how to pull up to a stand, holding on to the furniture. And a 5-year-old learns to skip. Media impact on emotional and social development. Children at an infant stage do not understand emotions or social behavior. Children at the infant stage don't know anything about emotion. They don't know what they are doing. Surrounding environment determines the perception of a set emotional reaction and social interaction. Type of content children are exposed to makes a difference. From that infantry stage, remember, your child is in the foundational stages of their lives, and whatever they are exposed to at that stage makes a lot of difference. Children in non-social instead of social and physically active states due to mass media. The mass media definitely affects your child, whether you believe this or not. Media fear and anxiety. Children can not only witness and share emotions expressed by media characters, but also respond directly to emotional charged events depicted in the media. Monster House, Corpse Bride, and Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix are just few examples of horror-filled content that is targeted to children. Classic Disney films such as Bambi, Snow White, and The Lion King can also be upsetting to very young children. Long-term fears and phobias. Remember, we are looking at the impact of media on various aspects of development, and one of them is long-term fears and phobias. A survey of more than 2,000 elementary and middle school children in US revealed that heavy television viewing was associated with self-reported symptoms of anxiety, depression, and post-traumatic stress. Watching more than 6 hours of television a day put children at greater risk for scoring in the clinical range of these trauma symptoms. A survey of nearly 500 parents of elementary school children found that the children who watched television just before bedtime had greater difficulty falling asleep, were more anxious at bedtime, and had higher rates of nightmares. Media content that upsets children varies by age. Preschoolers and younger elementary school children, 2 to 7 years of age, are most frightened by characters and events that look or sound scary. This pattern is consistent with younger children's perceptual dependence, their tendency to fixate on visual and auditory cues rather than more conceptual information, such as the motives of a character. They don't understand the motive of a character, so it makes them have this kind of scary feeling because of the sound. Older elementary school children, 8 to 5 years of age, are frightened more by scenes involving injury, violence, and personal harm. Older children also are more responsive than younger children are to events in the media that seem realistic or could happen in real life. This heightened distinction between fantasy and reality. Several studies have found, for example, that older children or teens aged 8 to 12 are more frightened by television news than our younger children. Media and moral development. Moral development in children follows a predictable developmental path. Moral reasoning becomes more flexible and other-oriented. Extensive viewing of television violence can alter children's views about the acceptability of violence and perhaps even hinder the development of their moral reasoning. Cheating, lying, stealing, yelling, cursing can be perceived as acceptable behavior by children. Media can cause confused moral reasoning, and some programs and journeys can enhance moral development. Media and antisocial behavior in children. On an average, a child views 200,000 violent acts on television by the age of 18. Kids become desensitized to violence and more aggressive. What a child works, what a child focuses on every day can make the child desensitized to violence and become more aggressive. We have a lot of aggressive children out there in the society, and most of them learned this aggressiveness from the kind of content they consumed in the home. So you see, media has a role to play. It has a role, it has an impact in the life of every child. Violence is often promoted as a fun and effective way to get what you want, and these children learn this. Media and antisocial behavior continuation. Many violent acts are perpetrated by good guys whom kids have been taught to admire. Even though children are taught by their parents that it is not right to hit, television says it's okay to bite, hit, or kick if you are the good guy. And a lot of children, in a bid to be the good guy, learn this and they start bullying other children in their school. They start bullying other children in their neighborhood as a result of the kind of content they've consumed over time. This can lead to confusion when kids try to understand the difference between right and wrong. Behavioral problems, nightmares, and difficulty sleeping may follow exposure to media violence. Young kids are particularly frightened by scary and violent images. Simply telling kids that those images aren't real won't console them. How can you tell a 2-year-old that what he or she is watching on the television is not real? Children can't distinguish between fantasy and reality. Whatever they see is like garbage in, garbage out. What they see, they assimilate and internalize. So how will you explain that what they are watching is not the reality? So these are some of the things we need to understand, because when these children consume this content, before you know it, they kind of assimilate whatever they watch. They assimilate it and they don't know that this is not the reality. This is not how the society is out there. Violent television programming contributes to both short-term and long-term increases in children's aggressive behavior. Video games act as fantasy violence. Exposure to violent media results in risky behavior. The risky behavior includes smoking, drinking, drugs, ragging, if-teasing, sexual acts, grooming, driving, fighting, language, emotions, aggression, copycat, health. Children learn from the imitation of people who look after them. So as children mimic adults, children mimic whatever they can see on TV. Parental influence in children. Media influence. Parents play a role in how media affects children. Your choices matter. As a parent, your choice matter. My choice matter. Whatever you consume is definitely what your children will learn one way or the other. You know, I have a 3-year-old son and a daughter that will soon be 2 years old. And in my home, we don't consume wrestling. We don't watch wrestling content in my home, because how can I explain to my 3-year-old son that these people are making money off this? How will I explain to him that this is not real? I can't deal, because these are one of the ways children learn violence. So your choice as a parent matter. There are some kind of musical videos I don't watch in my home, because at this age, I don't want my children to mimic whatever they are seeing on the screen. So we are very careful. Immediately we started having children, we made it a point of duty to make sure that there is a particular kind of content that is being consumed in the home by both parents and children. We all watch the same thing. So your choices as a parent, guardian, educator matters. Media is not just entertainment, but a vast source of information. Guidance and reinforcement of messages in different portrayals can enhance the child's pro-social learning. Be the boss as a parent, be the boss, be in charge, be in control of what your children consume. A lot of content these days have parental guidance. Activate it. You know, put on your seatbelt and be in charge. Help children to understand the need for them to focus on educating content. How to incorporate good mass media habits in children. Tips for parents. 1. Constant monitoring. Monitoring the quality of media that your child is exposed to is crucial. Avoid exposing children to violent, aggressive, scary, emotionally disturbing, and any other inappropriate media. They don't need it. Avoid it by all means. Keep a check on the media rating to ensure children are exposed to media which is age appropriate. Rating is very important. Before they consume, you need to check the rating, what age it's supposed to consume that particular content. Guidance. When there is proper guidance and explanation to an action, the child will be able to understand the messages better. Let's say your children want to watch a particular content. Probably they visited their friends at home and they saw them watching a particular thing and they also want to watch it. As a parent, sorry, as a parent, you're supposed to explain to your child, explain the need why they are not supposed to watch that particular content. This is very important. Be a role model. Children learn from their surroundings and people close to them, especially parents. They are watching what you're doing. So be a good role model. Make rules and stick to them. As parents, putting your foot down will only help your child's development. Do not compromise that. Stick to the rules. Also choose wisely. Depending on the development stage of your child, choose media exposure that will help the developmental aspects of your child. For example, Sesame Street, Barney, Blue are series that are educative and fun for children. In my home, we watch a lot of Cocomelon. In my home, we have Cocomelon, Super Books. These are the contents we consume in my home. And they are quite educating and my children enjoy it. So I'm also suggesting that you can consider, exposing your children to such educating content also. Screen time. Children need both physical and mental activities for appropriate development. Limit the screen time. Limit how long your children spend on watching the television. You need to review it, evaluate it, and reduce it. Another way of diverting children from media to productive activities is by letting them end the screen time. Respect for technology. With iPads and tabs, it is not possible to keep children away from technology. However, it can be controlled and directed to positive development. Restricted viewing. Put a child lock on the channels you think are inappropriate for your child. Reality from fantasy. Superman flies. Spider-Man climbs walls. And Amir Khan can ride a bike on anything, even water and why. A child does not understand the real message and emotion in all given instances. Explaining and even showing real from fake and fantasy helps the child understand messages better. Take time to explain to your child that these things are not real. They need to know so they don't go practicing it behind your back and get themselves injured. Communication. Communicating with your child helps you understand what understanding they develop from certain media exposure, which will help you guide them better. Your children should be close to you. They should be able to play with you, relate with you. And in the course of relating and communicating with you, you need to understand what they grasp, what they learn from the kind of content they consume on the television. And you also need to guide them better. You need to explain some of the things they may not be able to understand. Do not use high-tech devices as babysitters. With more nuclear families today, it's understandable that stress gets to us. However, in no given situation should a tech device be used as a babysitter. Creative and educational development. With exposure to so many avenues through media, a positive direction will go a long way. Find what interests your child and develop on that through media and internet. If your child is inquisitive, you can look up appropriate educative video on the internet and expose the child. You can use internet to assist with homework, questions the child is inquisitive about. Family time. Media can be very effectively used for quality family time as well. It can be used to have encouraging discussion and sharing of knowledge and views. One can use this time to educate the child about the cons of media and how to use media effectively instead of being overwhelmed by it. The summary. To sum it up, media has both positive and negative implications on children. This cannot be eradicated. However, we can definitely ensure that we encourage the positive aspects and control the negative for our children to understand and use the resources available for growth and destruction of self and not destruction of self-being. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you for listening. Thank you, Institute of Global Professionals, for having me here today.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your wonderful presentation, which can impact
Thank
our
you.
knowledge for sure. After your presentation, I hope our knowledge seeker can learn something new. For all intention, learn and grow together, IGP knowledge seekers. Once again, thank you so much, ma'am, for your presentation. Now, ma'am, it's time for
Thank
our
you.
question answer session, which is the one more valuable part of our regular affairs. Honorable ma'am, please stay with us after a short video. We'll be back in our session part two, which is the question answer part. Okay, ma'am?
Okay.
Okay. Here, IGP knowledge seekers time for our question answer session. After a short video, we'll start our question answer session. In the meantime, participants are requested to ask their question in the comment box as much as you want to know from our speaker. Thank you. After question answer, we have webinar certification and online quiz competition. So let's enjoy our question answer session. You can ask in our comments. Right, if you don't discuss, please ask your question in the comment box as much as you want to know from our speaker. Let's welcome back our speaker. Once again, welcome back, ma'am.
Thank you.
Ma'am, first question from Nifim Braha. Will spending too much time in front of screen affect child's social skills?
You spending too much time in front of screen affects child's social skills. Yes, it can affect a child's social skills. You know, in the course of my presentation, I talked about the impact of violence content. When a child is exposed to violent content and the child finally goes out to interact with other children, probably in the school or maybe in the neighborhood, you know, sometimes you see children bullying another child. You see children bullying their mates as a result of the kind of thing they've been exposed to. So definitely spending too much time in front of screen affects a child's social skill. But even beyond spending time, even beyond the number of time the child spends, the kind of content the child consumes has more impact on that child. Another aspect is if a child spends too much time in front of the screen, it can also affect the child because the child may not be willing to interact with other children out there. You see, when that's why you need to limit screen time. It's very important because your child needs to also relate with others. Your child needs to also relate with the siblings. Your child needs to play. There is an aspect a child is supposed to play. It helps the psychomotor of the child. You know, we have the affective, the cognitive, and the psychomotor. These three domains of education, they are important. None is more important than the other. So spending too much time in front of the screen do affect a child's social behavior and skills.
Thank you, ma'am. The next question again from Nutri Braha. What are the possible risks associated when children going online?
Children are not supposed to go online unsupervised. This is important. That's why you need to you need to set up parental guidance on your phone. Even you're not even supposed to allow a child to be exposed to the internet without getting to an age that where they need to understand a lot of things. A child needs to get to a certain age before the child should be exposed online. You don't just hand a child over the phone and allow the child to ransack the internet and figure his or her way out and navigate his or her way out. You don't know what the child will stumble upon. We all have our phones, and sometimes you see certain things pop up on your screen, even without you requesting for it, even without you clicking or searching for it. How much more when a child is exposed to these things? So there are so many risks associated with children going online. Even if it means doing assignment, there are tablets for children. There are educational gadgets for children. You can get that for your child. But don't give your child your phone and allow the child to figure out things for his or herself online. There are several risks associated with it, a lot.
Thank you, ma'am. Then next question from Kutto. Hannah Kutto. What advice can you give to parents who cannot monitor their children's use of social media as they spend long hours at work?
You see, the foundational age of a child matters a lot. In one of our sections, I said something in one of our previous sections. I said that you cannot spend time with your children for the rest of your life. A time comes when your children go out there to interact with others. Your children will go out there to mingle with others unsupervised. It's a stage of life. That's why what you teach that child, the kind of things the child is exposed to at the foundational age of their life matters a lot. You can't always be there to monitor your child. If your child is in college, you won't go to the college to know what the child is doing. If your child has a phone, you may not always have that luxury of time to know what your child is doing with the phone. Even if you ask the child to keep the phone at home, another classmate, a classmate or a friend can hand over his phone to the child. So you can't totally run away from these things. But what you can do as a parent is to give your child a solid foundation. Give your child a solid foundation. During that infantry stage, during that childhood stage, let your child understand a lot of things. Let them learn discipline. Let them learn self control. Let them know how to say no when they see evil. When they see something wrong, let them have integrity. Let them have reputable character that will make them distinguish right from wrong. These are the things that will help the child when you as a parent won't be there due to one reason or the other. It may not even be because of work. We still have some stay at home mom that don't really have time for their children, that don't really monitor their children because you don't know everything a child does in their school. So it may not even be because of your job. It could even be because of ill health. It could be because you are expecting another baby. It may make you not to have enough time to monitor the older children. Let's say children that are now in their teens. So you need to give your child a strong foundation so that when they have come of age, they have their conscience. They have that ability to distinguish the right from wrong. And this is what will help them when you are not there.
Uh, Ma'am, we covered all of our question. There is no more question. Once again, thank you so much, Honorable Ma'am, for your time in listening. We have
Thank
learned a
you.
lot from yes, ma'am. We have learned a lot from you with your topics. It will add some value to our day-to activity along with our academic and professional growth. Honorable Ma'am, hope to see you again with a new topic and a new day. Thank you, ma'am,
All right.
and
Thank you.
take
You're
care.
welcome. All right. You're welcome.
Ma'am, before we move to the next webinar certification process, if you want to leave this studio, you can, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you. Dear IGP knowledge seekers, time for our certification process. After a short video, we'll be back with our certification process. So, everyone, stay with us and enjoy our session. Once again, welcome back everyone. It's time for our certification process. We are participating. Here I we are sorry. Today our some technical problem. We cannot share our certificate code. We provide our certificate code in a short time. Thank you. Here IGP knowledge seeker. Today our some technical problem. We cannot share our certificate code. We provide our certificate code in a short time. Thank you. Here IGP knowledge seeker. Today our some technical problem. We cannot share our certificate code. We provide our certificate code in a short time. Thank you. Dear IGP knowledge seeker, it's time for our most engaging part, which is our quiz session. If you want to join our quiz session, please follow my instruction carefully. First, you have to go www.slido.com and find today's quiz or scan this QR code for direct join. Quiz code is Global IGP. Quiz code is Global IGP. After short video, we'll be back. So please everyone join our quiz session and enjoy our quiz competition. After short video, we'll be back. Once again, welcome back everyone. It's time for our quiz session. To join our quiz session, please follow my instruction carefully. First, you have to go www.slido.com. Then you have to enter the code is Global IGP. The code is Global IGP. We pick your name from Slido, so join with your full name, which will directly printed on quiz certificate, which will be directly printed on your quiz certificate, and the top 10 will be awarded with your quiz comprehension certificate. Now, the top 10 will be awarded with quiz comprehension certificate. And don't forget to mention your friends to join our quiz session. And don't forget to tag mention your friends to join our quiz session. Here IGP knowledge seeker. Already 28 people joined with us. After some minutes later, we start our quiz competition. So please everyone join quickly. We are waiting for your joining. If you want to join in our quiz session, please follow my instruction carefully. First, you have to go www.slido.com and find today's quiz or scan this QR code for direct joining. And the quiz code is Global IGP and the quiz code is Global IGP. It is easy to join the quiz part, so mention your friends to join the quiz competition. Here, IGP knowledge seeker, it's easy to join the quiz part, so mention your friends to join the quiz competition. first question is a picture that deliberately exaggerates the peculiarities of a subject text. It is with option 1, caricature, second option is describe, repeating. And the correct answer is option 1. To our next question, whoever will experience the work X, comics tend to be read. Option 1, audience, second option is editorial. Whoever will be experiencing the work X, comics tend to be read by children. Option 1, audience, second option is editorial. And the correct answer is option 1, audience, and 86% people are right. Move to our next question. Favoring one side of an argument due to past experience, media is meant for objective. Option 1 is bias, second option is editorial. The correct answer is bias, and 95% are right. Move to our next question. Use of the name of one thing for that of another. Another, which is subjects X, the press news media. Option 1, phonation, second option, metronome. The correct answer is option 2. And 70% people are right. Move to our next question. Which of these peculiarities matches Mozambique? Option 1. Mozambique has 147-year food. Second option is half the population is under 27. And the correct answer is option 1. 10% people right. Move to our next question. And the question is why do the children read the page? Option 1, because they are angry with the blazer. Second option, because they are going to a little street. And the correct answer is option 2. To our next question. Some small children have the dash of sucking a thumb. Option 1, control. Second option is habit. Some small children have the dash of sucking a thumb. Option control. Second option is habit. The correct answer is habit, and 92% people are right. Move to the next question. What is a man's equality? Option 1, water. Second option is fire. answer is water. So next question. What is police peculiarities? Option growth of plants. Second option is fire. What is police peculiarities? Option growth of plants. Second option is fire. The correct answer is option one. Growth of plants. 49%. You are right. Last question. The question is the children want to leave a note for option one to ask we to ask him to teach them how to sail. Second option to teach him to come out of the house. And the correct answer is option two. To teach him to come out of the house. 62% regular. Congratulations, Charlene Saliojo. Then in second position you have Walmo. In third position you have Nia. In fourth position you have Alex Jabba. In fifth position you have KFR Rivera. Congratulations, our top 10 quiz competition winner. We have all of your name. We pick your name from Slido and prepare certificate and post them on our Facebook official page and group. Our Facebook official page and name is Institution of Global Professionals. Dear IGP Knowledge Seeker, congratulations to our webinar online quiz competition winner top 10. Congratulations again. Slido will take a few minutes for finalizing the result. After a few minutes later, we will issue our online quiz competition certificate on our Facebook official page and group. Our page and group name is Institute of Global Profession. At the end moment of our session, we can say properly feed your skill. Never stop learning, cause life never stop teaching. Be happy and stay safe. See you again and again. We want your participation in our every program. If you want to live a happy life, try to not to people or things Albert Einstein. Before I say or hit the end lap button, again wants to thanks to all IGP knowledge seekers